Good morning, guys. Today we're going to try and fix a problem that's been annoying me for quite some time. This garden bed here, which I euphemistically refer to as the grave, only because of its dimensions, has been giving me some problems with regards to gardening and planting for quite some time. You can see I've got some Baronias here. This is what these plants here. They're a native Australian plant, and during winter they have a nice little pink flower, very pretty. We've lost one here, that's died. We've got some kangaroo paw here, which need a prune back desperately. There's about 3 of those scattered through this garden, and we've got some butterfly bush here, which needs a bit of a prune as well. And you may remember that if you've been watching the channel for a while, this garden was full of these butterfly bushes, but the rain event we had last winter destroyed most of them, and a lot of plants in the garden as well, and that's the sole surviving specimen of the old butterfly bush, so we'll give that a prune back as well. What I'm thinking of doing is transplanting some plants from what I call the front garden into here, and I'll explain that later on. But what I might do is I'll dig a hole here and show you the problem that I'm dealing with, so that might better explain it. So yeah, let's dig a hole and I'll show you why this garden has been problematic. Alright, what we've got here is some really heavy clay. Not very good for most plants. Most plants like good drainage, so this is a really heavy clay. You can see that it holds its shape quite well, and that's always a good indication that you've got very clayey soils. So there's a couple of things I can do. When I transfer the plants from out the front, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix in, I've got a bag of potty mix designed for succulents, which is very coarse and free draining. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig a couple of handfuls of that into each hole, and hopefully that will benefit the drainage problem. You could also put some sand in, and especially with clay soils you could also mix in some gypsum, handful of gypsum into each hole and dig it through, and that will help with the drainage as well. It's nutrient soils, because you can see got a little worm there, so it's not super bad, but I think the drainage problem is what's killed a lot of the stuff that I've planted in here. So anyway, that's the issue here. Let's go around to the front and I'll show you what I'm going to put in here. Alright, so in this garden here, we've got a few rose bushes hiding in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift them and transplant them into that garden that we're just looking at. It's probably technically a little bit early to be transplanting rose bushes. Here's one of the rose bushes here. It's been let go a bit, so there's rose hips on there now. So that's flowers that are turning into seed pods, because they're called rose hips, and they've still got a bit of leaf on them. What you really want to do is, when you're transplanting roses, is to make sure they're going completely dormant, so there's no leaf on them at all. Middle of winter is the best time to do it, so when the plants are quite dormant. Probably about a month or two earlier, but I'm impatient, so I'm going to do it now. Weather's quite cool, and it's forecast to be quite cool for the next week or so, so I think we'll be safe to do it now. So we've got this one here, we've got one there, we've got quite a large one here, and another one here, and one here, and one there. So how many is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably won't transplant all 6. I'll probably take the 4 smallest ones. So this one, that one, that one, and that one. And I'll leave these big boys here because they're too big for that small garden. Alright, so to transplant these, all you do is dig them up, but what I like to do first is to give them a haircut first. So give them a prune first, makes it a lot easier for them to move, and yeah, let's get stuck into it. Try and get rid of all that weedage. Don't want to transplant weeds. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Shake the dirt off a bit. Get rid of any dead roots. Just give it a bit of a... I'm just gently pulling, getting rid of any dead stuff. And what I'll do is trim these roots a bit. There's probably people watching this going, don't do that. Trust me, I've done this before and it's worked. What are you eating there, puppy? Sounds like you shouldn't be eating it. Alright, and I'll also give this a bit more of a haircut now that I've got it out. Get rid of that dead stuff. There we go. Okay, so that is what we'll plant out the back. So we'll grab up the rest of the other 3 that we're going to use, and then we'll go around the back and plant them. People always worry about roses. They think they have to be so gentle with them. They're a very hardy plant. I mean, these are a classic example. These don't get watered. Very rarely get pruned. They're a lot more resilient than people give them credit for. And that's why I'm going to plant them around in that problem area. Because although they don't like wet feet, they're probably a little bit more hardy than other stuff I've planted there. Let's get rid of that dead stuff. Tidy that up a bit. A lot of dead stuff in here. There we go. That. All right, that's number 2. 2 more to go. Ow. Give that a haircut first. What's this say? It's nothing to do with the rose. Bit dry underneath there, interesting. I think that will be okay. Yep. rest of that once I dig it out. What I'm trying to do when I dig them out is to get underneath the root ball as best I can. So you notice the angle of my spade is quite up and down in order to get depth rather than a shallow cut. You may be wondering why I'm not trying to take the soil with it. Because we're going to treat them as bare rooted because it's cool. We wouldn't do this if it was the middle of summer. We would try and retain the existing soil around the root ball as best we could. So we'll cut that off. All right, I make that 4, isn't it? Yeah, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Let's take these around the back. Okay, so like I said before, I'm just going to put a handful of this oh, that's not the one I want. That's just normal potting. Oh, they ever goes. Bone. When you plant them, you want to make sure the crown is at ground level, so that's a little bit too low there. Still a little bit too low. So what I'll do is put a bit of fertiliser around it and give it a good water in, and what that will do is will help get rid of the air bubbles around the roots. That's one. Let's get on to the rest. I'll just prune this kangaroo paw while I'm here. It's got some life in there, so give this a clean back. Do this one as well. I'm just going to see if I can get some more potting mix of some sort to just break that up a bit. This is what I wanted. Leftover succulent mix, but that's quite coarse. Alright, so that's 4 in. A couple there, one over the back there and one here. I'll put some eucalyptus mulch around them as well, just to help retain moisture until winter fully kicks in. And it's important to make sure that you keep the mulch away from the crown, the base of the plant as well, so it doesn't retain too much moisture and they get collar rot. So there you go. Quick little project. We'll see how we go with this. We'll keep you updated on whether come spring we see any signs of life, and whether this has been worth the time and effort. But you know, didn't cost me anything. Everything I used today I'd already had, so it's just time. Yeah, those ones over there are doing well, and my little rose garden around here is doing quite well too. I lost a lot of petals last night because we had about half an inch, 3/4 of an inch of rain last night. So that's why all the lavender are a little bit sort of because they're water laden at the moment, but that's looking pretty good too. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to see more. And as always, stay safe. Thanks for watching.